What is up, Starseeds? It's Sid, and I went to Missouri, so I'm going to talk about it a little bit. It's a pretty unexpected place to take a vacation to. It was my mom's idea, but it was actually so cool, specifically the road that our hotel was on. So I'm going to kind of start from the beginning. We flew from Detroit to Atlanta to Springfield, Missouri, because Springfield is about an hour away from Branson. There was a couple things that we wanted to do in Springfield, and then mainly stuff that we wanted to do in Branson, so she figured if we got a flight to Springfield, that would be best. My hippie, like, trying to save the planet mindset would rather fly to probably direct flight from Detroit to St. Louis. We had to drive to St. Louis and fly directly to Detroit to get back home because our flight was delayed so much. But besides that hassle of getting back home and the hassle of our hotel not really being the greatest, we had an amazing trip. There's so much more that I want to do in Branson, Missouri and Springfield, so I am definitely looking forward to going back again. My son also says that Missouri rocks and he wants to go back again too. So let's get into what we did, what I thought of everything, and the places that I am excited to try out in the future. So we got in on a Tuesday night, we got ice cream from Cold Stone, and then we went to the Branson Landing Fountain Show, which I didn't realize like when they had the fountain show, how long it was, how to get to the fountain show. So let me break it down because we just went in blind and I was trying to find the fountain. I was looking at pictures online and I was like, I see a Hilton Hotel in the background. Like, do you see the Hilton Hotel, Mom? Where are we? And we eventually found it. They do these shows for like 5 minutes every hour on the hour. This big fountain that was probably way more expensive than it should have been. And then they also do the fire like every hour on the hour. So we just got pretty lucky at finding this. We went to the Branson Landing area. I think we parked at Bass Pro Shops, but the fountain is right outside this restaurant we just so happened to eat at on an hour mark, so we got to watch the little fountain show right outside of it. It's really close to Guy Ferrari's restaurant as well, but I'm glad we ate at the Shark restaurant because we had like perfect seats to view this fountain show. It wasn't a huge deal, but it was a nice touch. The cool thing was walking around these shops because I actually got some really cute clothes from this little boutique. And then I got a picture of my eye taken from a different shop. It's really expensive if you want to get like an eye necklace or an eye picture on like a canvas for your wall, but I think the concept is really cool, especially because I have like a unique right eye. My iris is in a complete circle, so I was wondering if the picture of my iris wouldn't be a complete circle and if it would have the little like indentation at the bottom corner of it or not, but it doesn't. They have to make the iris a complete circle. I should say they're iris pictures, not eye pictures. Disclaimer, it's an iris picture. So the lady who kind of like developed the photo or whatever you call it, edited it, she made this like purplish tint at the bottom of my eye. I'll insert pictures. They're based out of somewhere in Europe, I think. There's a handful of shops in the United States, and right now they don't have any online ordering, even though I already went in person, just so happened to, and they took a picture of my eye. Like, you still have to go in person to order something. But I literally saw something online of this couple who got photos of their iris taken and made into like an infinity shape, and then literally 2 or 3 days later I come across one of the only shops that does it. I thought that was wild. So honestly, getting some cute clothes and getting a picture of my iris taken was the highlight of my Tuesday night. Clearly, I don't have any purple or blue in my eyes, like they are brown, but I think it's kind of interesting how they depicted it. I don't want a necklace of my own eye though. I feel like that would be a tad weird. I have it in my head. I don't need it on a necklace. But if one day I get a man, maybe he can wear my eye and I can wear his. I don't know. Then Wednesday, the whole day we dedicated to the amusement park in Branson, Silver Dollar City. And it's kind of this like old-timey theme. It was pretty cool. If you have kids, like, this is a cool amusement park to go to. My son rode his first big roller coaster and he absolutely loved it. Thunderation, but it is actually the last season, which kind of sucks, so that ride won't be there next year. He's at that in-between stage where any roller coaster much bigger than that he probably wouldn't like if it goes upside down, I don't think he would like that yet. But he also is kind of bored of the kid ride, so Thunderation was perfect for all ages. I enjoyed it. It's a wooden roller coaster, which usually hurts my body, but it really was not that bad. We rode it so many freaking times. The cool thing is you can get a pass. You pay like $95 per person. You can go whenever you want that year. So if you live in Missouri and you don't have a pass to Silver Dollar City, what are you doing? Because also they give you a cup that you can refill with, you know, whatever. I'm a water person, so we just kept refilling it with water. I did get a frozen lemonade once because I love me a frozen lemonade. And then they do fireworks at night. I feel bad for the animals, but it's cool to see, and they have a drone show too. It's firework and drone. They also have a water park, which we did not go to. It would be cool to check it out. We went on the 3 watery rides there though. One of the rides, you can squirt the people on the ride, and then the people on the ride are floating down this river Huckleberry Finn style. They have water guns as well, so the people on the ride and the people watching can spray each other with water guns, which is a pretty cool concept. And they have a log ride and a tube version of a log ride, but the tube version, you get wet before you go down the big hill. Disclaimer, the log ride, we get wet at the end. Everybody knows this. The tube ride thing we went on, my butt got soaked 10 different times before the big hill at the end. The next day, Thursday, we went to Top of the Rock, Lost Canyon Cave, and Nature Trail in a golf cart. So they have Top of the Rocks other places with restaurants and stuff. We didn't go to the fancy restaurant attached to it. We just went to Top of the Rocks, Branson, Missouri or whatever, and they let you rent a golf cart, basically, drive along cliffs. I was kind of sketched out by this, but there is a distinct path. It's not sketchy. It's totally fine. I was surprised at how many golf carts there were, and in certain areas it got pretty congested. There were golf cart traffic jams. But I really enjoyed it. I think it's cool, and I think pretty much everybody would love it. The cave that you go through is beautiful, breathtaking. It's probably the smallest cool cave I've ever been in, to be honest, so it didn't last that long. So my mom, who's claustrophobic, really appreciated that. It's this beautiful cave with a waterfall, but you're only in it for a couple of minutes, and then you get out and you're seeing all of this other beautiful scenery, beautiful waterfalls. This whole city of Branson is capitalism at its finest, which I don't love, but there are cool touristy things to do. I love all of the nature stuff. I love hiking. I love waterfalls. I love caves. I love mountains. And Branson, Missouri kind of took that and made it so anybody can be naturey. It's kind of the best of both worlds for families who want to do the touristy gift shop, typical go get drinks thing, and the people who are naturalists, just want to see the waterfalls and caves. That is very much so my mom and I. So it was a good combination, a good trip for us to go on together. But yeah, that ride was beautiful. No complaints. The only thing is there was a lot of people in golf carts, but I wasn't upset about it. It wasn't it was an hour-long traffic jam. It was a few minutes, but you're looking at beautiful scenery while you're waiting for people to get out of the way, so it was whatever. But they literally have a bar when you enter the cave. That's why there was a traffic jam, because they let strangers rent their golf carts, drive alongside cliffs. The paths are fine, you guys, but I'm being a little dramatic here. You drive along cliffs, and then as you enter the cave, you have a voucher for free drinks. So you can order whatever alcohol you would like. I'm a water person. Also there, we took a little shuttle from the Top of the Rocks place to this ancient Ozark natural history museum, and it was pretty cool. A lot of Native American things, which if you think ancient Ozark natural history, oh yeah, obviously Native Indigenous people. I loved it. I loved seeing all of the artifacts, all of the pictures and artwork, I think were my favorite part of this museum. Then we went to the Ketter Center at College of the Ozarks for dinner. This is, I think it's a restaurant run by college kids. They design the menu, they serve the food, I'm assuming they cook the food and all of that too. It was really freaking good. We went there Thursday for dinner and Friday for lunch. Friday morning, we went back to Silver Dollar City Amusement Park. The reason they have this amusement park in that location, allegedly, is because Marvel Cave is there. We went back for the cave. Like, I wanted to do the cave the first time we went to the amusement park, but my mom had rented a little scooter thing for the day, so I was like, you know what, we'll just do the rides today, go all around the park, and then a different day we can come back in the morning and do the cave, and you don't have to rent a little buggy thing to get around because the cave's pretty close there to the entrance of the park. So we go back to do the cave. It was awesome. Our tour guide told us the story of how the cave was discovered a few hundred years ago. There was like native legends that it was the devil's pit, so people stayed away from it for a couple hundred years. And then a group of people bought it because they thought that there were precious stones or something in the cave. There wasn't. It was just limestone and bat poop. But bat poop was used for gunpowder and things like that back in the day. So they basically scooped all the bat guano out of the cave, made a bunch of money off of that. But then once the bat poop was gone, they sold it to somebody for dirt cheap, and that guy started doing cave tours. Him and his daughters would let people come into the cave, write their name down, and then they would hand them like a lit candle and an unlit candle, say, go explore the cave. And there was no railings, you know, obviously no lighting, hence the candle flame. They recommended that once the first candle burned out, you turned around and got out of the cave, or if you got lost, got injured, fell to your doom, hopefully not. But if for any reason you like just didn't know where you were going, sit down and they would come look for you at the end of the day if you didn't exit the cave already. So I think a lot of people probably died in that cave because there was cliffs in the cave, and if you just have a candlelight and you're not looking directly at your feet, that would be pretty freaking easy to fall to your doom. There's also a part of the cave that's never been explored, really. They sent a team swimming through like super cold 50-degree Fahrenheit water for like 8 hours. They didn't come to anything. They just were in this little tunnel for 8 hours going, and then they came back because they were like, we're gonna die if we don't. And they have never sent another team to see what's up with that part of the cave. I am curious. I want to go see what's out there because they even put like a natural kind of colored dye in the water to see if it dyed anything else, any other waterways in the area, to see where this leads to. They never found the dye anywhere else. So I'm like, is this an entrance to Inner Earth? Like, what is this miraculous mystery of a place? I really want to know. I want to explore Marvel Cave. They wouldn't let me, but I would put on a wetsuit. I would do something. I would go swimming for 8 more hours and see what's up. If I had some way to regulate my body temperature, I would totally do it because I freaking love caves. And we rode my son's favorite ride a few more times. Then we left. We went to Branson Alpine Mountain Coaster. This is kind of overrated in my opinion. Let me tell you why. So it is cool. If you go in with no expectations, if you go in with the expectation that it's going to be lame, then it would be cool. But if you go in with this expectation of like, I'm going on a mountain roller coaster, it's not going to be as cool. So just keep it in your mind that it's not as cool as it sounds. So it's not a roller coaster. It's like a go-kart on a roller coaster track that you operate the car. You have these things, you put them all the way down to go as fast as you can. You pull them up to brake. And they said it's 7 to 10 minutes depending on how fast you go. I didn't think I was going that fast. Maybe I was. Maybe I was going faster than most people go. I don't know. It was like 5 minutes. 7 minutes absolutely tops. But my mom was like, that was really quick. And I was like, yep, it was. It felt like 2.5 to 3 minutes tops total of like me operating this go-kart thing, like having fun going downhill on these turns and stuff. But the majority of the time was the roller coaster taking you up this hill, click, 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 and you can't control the car. You just have to stay in that version of neutral, just like don't touch the handles or whatever. But it was really fun for those few seconds or minutes going fast downhill, Definitely the majority of the ride, 2/3 to 3/4 of the ride was just it clank clank up a hill. It wasn't that big of a hill either. Like, it wasn't scary. My son loved it. He also thought it was over very quick and like thought it was going to be more fun, to be honest. I think another mountain roller coaster, I think it's called like the Copperhead roller coaster or something in Branson, might be cooler. If I go back to Branson, I'm going to try that one instead, see what I think of it. We did the mountain roller coaster one because it sounded more kid friendly, which it was. You literally just have a seatbelt on me, and then you have a seatbelt on your kid in front of you. There's not much holding you in there, but I felt secure the whole time, honestly. At first I was sketched out, but once the ride started, I was like, oh, you know, this is fine. They did have a cool little gem finding thing that the kids could do. It was fake crystals, but that was a nice touch because for this spot to only have this mountain roller coaster, it was kind of lame. But it was fun, and I would try the other one and see what I think of that next time I go. Then we went to the Celebrity Car Museum. That was a cool place. I assumed that most of these cars were remakes of cars from movies and TV shows, but then I heard a lady say that 90% of them were screen used. I didn't take the time to read the blurbs that was in front of most of these cars, and the ones that I did read in the pictures that I took after, a lot of them said, like, the Chariot of Damnation from Percy Jackson was screen used, so I was like, oh, that's cool. I think the Batmobile was a remake, but still cool nonetheless. Obviously, Lightning McQueen and Tow Mater are from an animated movie, so they're remakes, like there's not a real car for it, but that was cool to see. A lot of the stuff in the museum is older TV shows, older movies that probably my parents' generation would find more interesting than I find. They did have a lot of Fast and Furious stuff though. They had the supernatural cars, which I was hyped about seeing. They even had like some Stranger Things stuff as well. So some more newer things, but mainly older things. I was excited to see stuff from The Walking Dead, the Twister movie from when I was a kid, which I totally forgot about. There was even a truck from the Hannah Montana movie, but the Batmobile and the supernatural stuff was the coolest in my opinion. Saturday morning, we went to the Pets and Giggles show. I think they have it every day at 10 a.m. I wouldn't go see it again. The dog stuff, the little tricks the dogs did was cute. The cast of these 4 young adults was annoying. It was trying to be kid humor, but you're in your 20s now and you don't remember what kid humor is like, so it's not actually funny. My son said it wasn't funny, but it was fun and it was silly. The dogs doing tricks was cool. That was the thing that really carried the show in my opinion. And in case you're wondering, it was just dogs. There was no other kind of animals. I thought pets could mean birds or other stuff, but it was just dogs. They were cute though. Got a picture of debatably the world's largest rooster. Whatever building it was in front of is, I think, permanently shut down, but the front of it looks really cute. There was also like the world's biggest fork and meatball. That might be a cool place to go eat spaghetti. Then we went to the Dogwood Canyon Nature Park in Lampe with trams to see wildlife. So we got in this trailer and we went on this wildlife viewing excursion. It was really cool. This property is 10,000 plus acres. We actually crossed into Arkansas for a bit during this tour, which nobody was expecting, but apparently it's a really freaking big property, so it makes sense. And then we crossed back into Missouri, and it was really cool. We saw lots of bison and elk. There was some like longhorn cows. We saw a snake eat a fish, golden rainbow trout or something, which apparently is pretty rare. And our tour guide Rob sounded like one of the moose from the Brother Bear movie, so I thought that was just chef's kiss on the voice of our tour. Obviously, Branson, Missouri is like more southern, kind of near the border of Arkansas, but this Dogwood Canyon Nature Park place was like 40 minutes, even more southwest from Branson. It was worth it though. It was really cool. Obviously, you never know what exactly you're gonna see, but they take the tram to a few waterfalls as well. You go like in the water a bit, you don't get wet, but it's cool. We did that in the golf cart too at Top of the Rock. Like, you drive over a little creek, you don't get wet, but the tires do. Then Sunday, we went to the aquarium with this big giant octopus out front that has been right next to our hotel the whole time we've been there. My son has been like, when are we going to the octopus place? We finally did. It was pretty cool. They have this like ride thing too, this 3D movie you can watch towards the beginning of the aquarium, but they have stingrays you can pet, which I love stingrays, so I always love doing that. And then we got rolled ice cream, which was on my list to do because I scoped this place out online. That's why I have this huge long list of other things I want to do that are all pretty much on the same road as the hotel, a couple little offshoots of things. But I made this like in-depth list of what to go to first based on where it is on the road, but everything is close together there. It really doesn't matter. Based more so on your schedule is like what you want to do a certain day. Like everything is close. You really don't need to go based off of what's next to each other on the road. Pretty much everything is. Nothing's more than 10 minutes away, except like the Keter College place to eat food was more like 25 minutes away, and then the Dogwood Canyon place was more like 40 minutes away. Obviously stuff in Springfield was like almost an hour away. So then after we did the aquarium, rolled ice cream, which was cool. Here's a little picture of the history of it. Then we went to Fantastic Caverns near Springfield, Missouri, and that was my son's favorite cave. The one that we did at Top of the Rock was a very small cave, very beautiful, probably best scenery, you know, in under 5 minutes. So of the caves that I did, I think Fantastic Caverns in Springfield was the coolest, Marvel Cave was the second coolest, and then the Top of the Rocks cave, because it was the littlest, was my least favorite, but it was still amazing, just a different kind of experience. I do really want to check out the other caves in the area. I didn't know that Missouri was like the cave state, and they have thousands of caves in the state of Missouri, so I would love to check out more. The one thing on my list that I had like as a green heart that I really wanted to do that we didn't do was Talking Rocks Cavern Fairy Cave. So when I go back, because I think I'm going to, I really want to do the Talking Rock Cavern. There's also just so much stuff on that street. There's like Pirate Cove Adventure Mini Golf, Castle Rock Resort Water Park, Promised Land Zoo, Table Rock Lake, White Water Park, Smallin Civil War Cave, there's the Showboat Bell, there's Lakeside Forest Wilderness Area Waterfall Cave, Lake Taneycomo, Shepherd of the Hills Rope Course, Mini Golf, Petting Zoo, Butterfly Palace Rainforest Adventure looks really cool, Bigfoot Fun Park Arcade Mini Golf thing that looked cool, the Branson Ferris Wheel, Ripley's Believe It or Not looked really cool, Titanic Museum, Adventure Seekers, Wonderworks, Marvel like Loopy House. The Wonderworks thing looked really cool as well. I really wanted to do either the Wonderworks or Ripley's Believe It or Not, but we didn't have time for either of those. There's this kids country place, country spelled with a K, that looked fun for kids. There was this Indian restaurant, Indian clay oven, that was by the rolled ice cream that I really wanted to go to, but we didn't. I like more diverse food. Branson Wild World Incorporated Animals thing looked cool. Grand Country Market. Fritz's Adventure Climbing Park, probably for more older kids. There was a Hong Kong buffet I wanted to check out. We did not. The Yard Milkshake Bar I wanted to check out. We did not. Branson Cafe, breakfast and comfort food looked good as well. I'm kind of a foodie, so I was like looking at these restaurants and stuff too. There's a Branson Scenic Railway, which we did not do. And then last thing on my list, Downtown Trolley, which goes to Branson Landing, etc. I figured that when we went to the Branson Landing fountain and all those shops, we would take like the downtown trolley or something, but you know, we had fun without it. But I would love to do these on a future trip and maybe also let you guys know how everything was. I had no clue that this city had so much to do. I did not know it was like a touristy town, but apparently it totally is. I feel like there's fun things to do in just about every city. Like you could fly to any small town and find cool, like local things to experience. So you can really take a vacation just about anywhere. Let me know the cool places that you guys have traveled to, specifically close to me in the US, but also let me know the other countries because we're adventuring. All right, peace out.